entitled A Precious Gift of John Webber.
Have you ever had an experience that's transformed your life? 2 months ago, I discovered that it doesn't have to be a major tsunami. In fact, something quite small, if you're open to it, can illuminate your life. Good evening, Mr. Toastmaster, ladies and gentlemen. This September in Canada, I spent time with a First Nations elder, Sequoia. Sequoia's a tall, thin man in his 70s, with shoulder-length white hair, and he was a bit of a wiry old mountain goat. His quiet manner, his enigmatic smile, and his penetrating gaze left me feeling strangely uncomfortable, and yet deeply curious. Sequoia lived in a large log cabin that had no running water, no electricity, or no furniture to speak of. Its colourful wall hangings, its comfortable floor cushions, and the smell of burning incense reminded me of a Buddhist shrine. Yet Sequoia's paraphernalia of peace pipes and medicine wheels concealed a complex character with a checkered past. This man had served in both US Special Forces and Leavenworth Prison. And in fact, it was in prison that he reached a dramatic turning point in his life. One overcast, chilly Monday morning, I set out on a hike with Sequoia. He led me down a tree-lined valley next to a roaring river. And in the path, in places, he was pointing out to me the visiting cards left behind by grizzly bears, scratch marks on tree trunks where they'd been sharpening their claws. The other evidence of previous visitors was far more obvious and needed no pointing out, for the way had been marked out by cordons and ribbons. Sequoia explained to me that this was the work of a man called Lyle, who ran a mountain lodge over the hill. And he was organising a mountain biking event, and he had staked out the trail for the riders to follow. Around midday, the clouds had disappeared and the sun had broken through, and we reached the confluence of two rivers. We perched on the bank to eat our packed lunches. The sensational September sun soothed our skin. The kokanee salmon clouded the nearby waters. I was relaxed by the reassuring rumble of the rivers. I was transported by Sequoia's stories, tales from Native American history, and accounts from his own incredible life. After lunch, we resumed our path back up the valley. And after some distance, we reached a crossroads in our path. And Sequoia was leading across that crossroads, and suddenly he stopped in his tracks. "No, let's go that way," he said, and he veered off left. After a few hundred metres, our tree-lined track turned a bend, and it joined a much wider track. "I see Lyle has been busy," Sequoia observed stoically. Nothing could have prepared me for the shocking sight of devastation that met my eyes when I looked up. On either side of that track, within 20 feet, every tree had been felled and left on the ground to rot. Lyle was preparing a cross-country ski track for the few weeks of the year when he'd be able to run ski holidays from his mountain resort. He didn't care about the eyesore he had created by wasting hundreds of trees, because when his skiers come, all that is going to be concealed in deep snow. Lyle lived in a bubble where his business and his time were all that mattered. My surging indignation was interrupted by Sequoia, who said, "You know, I wasn't going to bring you this way, but something prompted me to do so. I guess you were meant to see this for some reason." And do you know what? My indignation turned to shame. Because I realised there was a Lyle in me, And in fact, I think there's a Lyle in money in our society. A Lyle who cherishes his own convenience above the welfare of the world. Here's a graphic illustration of the Lyle factor. It's something from Marks and Spencer's that would make a convenient Christmas gift for someone you don't like. It's a red tin with an eye-catching wrapper, used to contain 2 thin slabs of fancy chocolate. Quite a story. This particular exhibit was given to someone who didn't want it. So she gave it to my partner. My partner didn't want it, so she gave it to me. I ate it. I was a bloke, it seemed the honourable thing to do. This unwanted present cost £9.50. That is the amount that half the population of the globe, that's 7 billion, has to live on for a whole week. Many of us neglect our families, our communities, our own well-being to focus on earning money. We then blow that money, feed our fickleness, and starve our souls. We are part of the 12% of the globe's population that consumes 2/3 of its resources. Let's just hope the other 88% don't all want to follow our example. Let's face it, our time, as I'm reminded by the lights there, our time on this planet is finite. Surely this is the most precious gift we have to offer. Let me leave you with a thought. This Christmas, if you want to show someone that you really care about them, really care about them, why not offer them a bit of your time by doing something for them or with them? Because in years to come, which memories will burn brighter? Times shared or throwaway gifts exchanged? Mr. Toastmaster.